You are about to spend 15 minutes with a young woman who has it all. Her name is Jennyrae Brongo. She's talented, she's skilled, she's energetic, she's passionate, and she is focused. Jenny Brongo is also on to something. Her brother is autistic. And Jenny, I know that you're working to make his life better. We're going to find out how, but I just watched your video, your YouTube video. You say that you are, on the video, a sister to autism. Let's take it from there.
Okay. I'm many things. A sister to autism, I find one of my most important things that I am. It shaped me to who I am today, but I'm also a woman in construction, and I love my community. I love workforce development. I love charity. I'm just well-rounded in wanting to make people's lives a little bit better, and I'm rooted in construction. I own a gravel pit out in Gates, and now I'm taking my hard hat and my bulldozer, and I'm trying to create something for our special needs community.
So is it your involvement with special needs that has made you who you are, or were you this and now you're aiming it towards special needs?
Oh, absolutely. I think having someone with a disability in your family. He was so close to me. He's 18 months younger, my brother Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
And he just is my best friend. And even though he doesn't have a voice to tell me what he wants all the time, I feel like I can read his mind, and it's made me who I am today.
Tell me a little bit about Homesteads for Hope, how it began. You mentioned Chucky, of course, and that is how it began, but let's go beyond that.
Yeah, so Chucky now is 25, and when he was transitioning out of high school and actually an institution out of state, at 21, there is nothing. There's nothing available. There's waiting lists for day programs, work programs, and group homes, and for those who have high behaviors or are more difficult to work with, there's really no options.
So he was just out there.
Yeah, he sat at home and isolated for a really long time. So when I couldn't find anything for him, I always knew I had to create something for him. And being in construction, I always thought it was going to be just a group home, but it really is more than that. You can't just assume that you could build a group home for a child with a disability and assume that their neighbors are going to be real nice and share cookies and maybe come over and play Monopoly. That's not always as true. So I knew that, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to raise autism. So when I couldn't find anything for my brother, I was sick of kind of being stuck at home with him. My father had passed away. Our team, tripod, my mother, my father, myself, to take care of Chucky was no longer. So we needed to do something. So I started taking him to my uncle's farm, which was right in the community, right down the street, my great uncle. He owned this beautiful property. And we started taking Chucky there in the afternoons for walks. So it was either watching Cinderella 5 times in a row, or it was taking him for walks. And this was in 2012. So I started going there, and I watched my brother being mesmerized about this natural environment, about a sunflower field, about bees being right near him and him not being scared, but he's more just like interested in this whole new life that is not possible indoors. This is an environment with no walls. And this specific property just so happens to be sitting on, 3,000 linear feet of waterfront of the Erie Canal.
Yeah.
So he's watching the water, the boats go by, say, Chucky, wave to the boat. And he just loved it there. So I convinced my mom soon after you just need to go take him to the farm every day. She can't work because she has to take care of my brother. He's high needs.
Yeah.
Chucky's nonverbal with autism. I don't like the word low functioning. It's just he has communication barriers.
Sure.
So he can't get what his wants or needs across as efficiently. So he tends to have behaviors. And for him, what he developed during that puberty stage, which is a lot of families and what they're realizing now, is puberty is a turning point in autism. My brother developed what's called self-injurious behaviors. So again, not a lot out there. He had to go to an out-of-state institution in New York. Just did not have what we needed. So this farm, something as free as a farm, changed our lives. And my mom would take Chucky there, and he'd be sitting on a tailgate with a bunch of the other farmers on the property, and he'd be picking cabbage or peppers. And, it might have started, he was just sorting them in the back of the truck, but he was washing them. He was running a food stand.
Yeah.
We kind of created a little buzz and said, come visit Chucky at the food stand. And Facebook people came out, and Chucky was making like $200 a day from his little farm stand. So I knew something was there, and I did something as simple as Google farm for autism.
Mm-hmm.
And I
was
found,
there a lot there?
Yeah.
There was.
Nothing in our region.
Wow.
But I found a complete movement across the nation, and they're called intentional communities, intentional and agricultural communities. So just so happened that there was a conference called FRED, Farming and Ranching Communities for the Disabled, out in California. So I flew out there in March of 2013, and I got to hear all these different families and all these other organizations and people creating just this. So I had something special to begin with because I'm a sister. I think so differently. I don't think like the parents where they're just like thinking about where he's going to live. I want to think about who his friends are. How is he going to spend his afternoons? Like, I want him to go to a bonfire. I want him to live like a 20-something, which he is. So I had a unique concept, but also I'm an entrepreneur. So whatever we were going to create needed to be financially sustainable. So founded in March of 2013. We're now in 2016. We did 2 years of a pilot program where we did a farm school. We offered it to some of our board members' children, young adults, I should say, and some tour groups that people would come out to the farm. We would lease my uncle's farm. And something that was always holding us back, even as you mentioned, the Ty Pennington contest that we...
Yeah, we mentioned that before we began the interview, but a couple of years ago, you were in the running for a Ty Pennington Award. Explain.
It was called the Ultimate Give Back Neighborhood Challenge, and it was a... out of 300 contestants, we came in second place in an online contest. We did a video. We totally would have won first place, but we didn't own the farm.
And we're going to get to that, how you own the farm now. But you did make some noise there, and that had to be so encouraging too.
Oh yeah. And what we've done in the last 3 years is we provided hope. We've provided hope to special needs families that when their children grow up and they're adults, that we have a support system. And Homesteads for Hope is a forever homestead, a place where people of all abilities can come together and belong and learn together, work together, and live together. But again, this all sounds nice on paper, and you can say it till you're blue in the face and tell people about this big dream. And as much encouragement and passion I have for this, it's hard to say you have a community farm without a farm. So I went to another conference in October 2015, met a man from New York City who said he knew me, which was incredible because I'm a nobody.
But he must have known you through your involvement. I mean, he did. He knew of you.
All the way from New York City, and he asked, "How can I help you?" And I just blurted out, "I need a farm. I need $1 million because I need to buy this farm because this farm that I have a chance at will create an entire mission and vision and hope for people of all abilities to create inclusion and true sustainability." So sure enough, 10 months later, I closed on August 19th, 2016. I closed on my great uncle's beautiful farm property, which is a 55-acre historic waterfront farm. It's located on Manitou Road in Ogden, and it's just one of a kind. It's tucked into this little harbor, and it's got this beautiful wide water inlet of the canal. And I envision a 3-phase intentional community, starting with phase 1, which is where we're at right now, is over the winter here, we need to renovate and revitalize the historic barns and the estate home. And what we're creating is a sustainability center to be able to have classrooms that are going to serve people of all abilities. We're getting the fields up and running. Actually, this weekend, we're going to have some machinery out, and we're going to be plowing the fields for our organization for the first time. Working with Cornell, actually, some professionals from Cornell.
How about that?
And so we'll be farming about 20 acres, and we've got to do some raised garden beds, and we got to clean out the greenhouse, and we got a lot of construction happening here over the winter. And in the spring of 2017 is our hope that we have 30 people on a waiting list, young adults with disabilities, that want to come out and learn with us. But that happens during the day, and then we want to open up our afternoon classes to possibly like yoga on Tuesdays, and Wednesdays like a wine and paint night, and Friday nights are bonfires, and Saturdays we might be able to hook up with some marina, and they're gonna bring a boat down, and we're gonna take the kids on a little adventure on the Erie Canal. So we're creating something that is one of a kind, has never been seen before in this region, a financially sustainable model to serve people of all abilities, and it takes a community. My brother with autism needs inclusion. He needs to be able to be around people that are aware of his situation, but don't treat him differently.
Yeah.
That farm offers something so beautiful, and we've had over 150 volunteers in the last 2 months. People that came out, they brought their contracting trades, they came out and helped us clean the barns. We had 2 big events we were able to pull off, and it's just been like such momentum. And what's so great about all of this is that you see these special needs kids and their parents, and no one treats them differently.
Wow.
These parents are walking side by side because we live the same life.
Yeah.
And then these young adults, yeah, they're awkward and, maybe not very social, but who isn't, especially around new crowd.
Sure.
And one of my young interns, I have a civil engineering intern from RIT. Her name's Erica. She's great. And she looks at me and she goes, no one cares about who has autism or who's disabled or anything. Everyone is living so sustainably right now. So these young people are coming out and they're just showing us the way. And it's so, and back to Chucky, like how my brother handles this. This is a young man. If you go to Chucky's story on YouTube, there's a whole story about how we survived.
I'll check that out. Yeah.
Bring a box of tissues.
Really?
We took Chucky and he had to be wrapped in an air mattress because his self-injurious behaviors, he had tics and he wanted to hurt himself so bad during puberty. It was such a crazy thing, and it's sad because so many parents are dealing with it now and there's no awareness. It's the type of autism no one talks about. My brother went from that to a complete beautiful experience on this farm.
We're talking with Jennyrae Brongo. She is the founder of Homesteads for Hope. The website is homesteadsforhope.org. Great video, great information, everything you want to see. Why do you have such a big smile on your face?
I'm just so excited.
Yeah. I mean, and you've done this all in 3 years. I mean, do you ever just pull back and say, look what I've done?
Well, I haven't done it alone. I might have been
still.
the white hard hat of the crew, but I know that my family needs this and our community needs this. I'm 27. My friends that I went to high school with, which we're doing our 10-year anniversary next year.
Congratulations.
What's going to happen to their kids? And some of them have autism.
All right, let me ask you this. With the change of administration, with Donald Trump becoming president, how will this impact your effort and your moving forward? Have you thought about that yet? I'm sure you've thought of everything. I'm sure you've looked at this.
I have thought of everything, and our special needs community is very concerned about what had just happened. But I think we're going to have great change. And as far as my organization goes, I can't stress it enough. We're financially sustainable. We're a working, operating farm that grows vegetables, that has a UPIC, a CSA program. In the future, we're going to have a marina, canoe and kayaking rental, all sorts of things that are going to bring in sustainable revenue, but it matches our mission to really create sustainable lifestyles, environments, and futures. Continuous learning, authentic workforce development, recreation and socialization activities on this farm.
So you're convinced you can do it no matter what happens around you politically.
Oh yeah, I have hope in every corner, and this is going to happen. And it's not if, it's when. And we hope that we get a lot of support going into the new year. So we're ready to rock in spring 2017.
How can people help you? Because I guarantee you there are people listening to you right now going, wow, this woman's amazing.
So every construction contractor, please give us a call. We need some support to revitalize a 18th century farm and barns. Any retired principals, grant writers, special education teachers, people that have some time, give us a call. We're making waves. We need your help. And, this end of the year is the best time to give. People need the write-offs. People feel enthused because of the holidays. And I could guarantee that your dollars will go to an amazing thing that you can see. You can come in and visualize your dollars if you donate on this property, and you're welcome to come anytime because it will be open to the public. On your website, there is a spot for donations if you want to just check it out there. Homesteadsforhope.org. Phone number, you mentioned the phone number. I know, we're talking about an off time, but I'm guaranteeing you a voicemail. Yeah. It's a really good one, 585-352-HOPE, HOPE. I hope the phone rings off the hook, and I hope your website gets... I hope it's charged. No, I'm just kidding.
Does Chucky realize this impact?
When we told him the day that I said, Chucky, Jenny bought the farm. I gave Uncle Bob money. We bought the farm, buddy. Chucky's farm for you and your friends forever. And he looked at me because he knew what I was saying, but then we were all crying, and he got so overly excited and just exuberant, and he was just so happy, and he knew, and we were just crying because we knew this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Jenny, you have an amazing story. Gosh, you have an amazing story. I'm so glad we could share it for these past 15 minutes.
Thank you.
It is homesteadsforhope.org, 352-HOPE. If you want to get involved, just come out and take a tour. I'm sure you would love to have anyone come out just to see what's going on.
Absolutely. It only takes 1 hour of your day, and I can't stress it enough. You have to see it to believe it. You can sit here and watch my website. You can go on. You can see our brochures. You will not understand it until you come and see this beautiful, one-of-a-kind farm that's going to change lives.
Jennyrae Brongo, great to meet you, the founder of Homesteads for Hope. Keep out the great work. It is, again, online at homesteadsforhope.org. Phone number 352-HOPE. And we certainly hope that you have continued success with your efforts. Great to see you.
Thank you.